High-tech engines need high-tech oils.
Got a dicey corner. Got it done. Through the lead. Goes. He's trying to get a margin. He will hand his car over to Peter Edwards, who, by his own admission, isn't as fast. So the Dane needs to give him a buffer.
To take the maximum points for the second race in a row.
It's the double wham bam. Klark Quinn will comfortably bring it home in race 2. These challenges all...
Thanks for staying with us here on Inside Speed. Time to talk about the Australian GT Championship now. They've had their first round. It turned out to be a fascinating affair. There's a few changes to the way they're running the Australian GT Championship this year, and we're going to investigate that for you right now. Joining us in the studio, one of the competitors, Klark Quinn, and the new category manager for the Australian GT Championship, Ken Collier. Gentlemen, thank you very much for your time.
Great. Thank you.
Ken, if we can start with you, you've taken on a very big role this year. Since the days of the Pro Car Series, one of the biggest gripes in GT has been parity. This year, you guys reckon you've got it nailed?
I think we have, actually. We've adopted a parity system based on the international FIA homologation, which eliminates a lot of that local parity issues that have occurred in the past. So we're quite sure that we've overcome that parity of the vehicles.
Now, you've been around in motorsport for many years. You kicked off in off-road racing. I knew you in the Carrera Cup days. Yes. This is not just a passion for you. This is something that you firmly believe in.
Oh, absolutely. I love motorsport. I've had a commercial background, so I bring that commercial element to this motorsport series.
Is that what has been lacking in the way GT, and not just the Australian GT Championship, but other categories in Australia have run that commercial element as well as the passion for motorsport?
Look, it wouldn't be difficult for me to say that, but I know that I'm very customer focused. So I run the category based on the customers that we've got. Firstly, our competitors, of course, and we've got a great base of competitors who are entered the championship this year. And along with that, we've got a great race format that makes that, ties that all together. We've then got good series partners with our sponsors, another set of customers to me, and our final customer, I guess, is the spectators. And I know that through your shows, the spectators will get to see everything great about AGT.
Well, Klark, we should come to you because after the first round, after qualifying, things hadn't gone your way, but with the new format, it fell right into your hands.
Yeah, it really did, and that's the beauty of the new rules in AGT this year. They've introduced a thing called CPS, which is compulsory pit stops. So basically what that is, if you qualify in row 1, then you get a 75-second pit stop. If you qualify in row 2, you get 70-second, in row 3, 65, row 4, 60, and so on and so on. And so what this does, I initially qualified in second, but then I got pipped last minute and fell in third, so that gave me an extra 5 seconds out of the pits. So it really worked in my favour, being pipped that one extra spot. But that's what the new rules in AGT have done. It's with the concept of going AGT racing in Australia with the longer endurance races, so the 1 hour and 45-minute races. What can happen is the race can tend to spread apart. So with this compulsory pit stop adjustment, it bunches the whole field together and it makes it exciting racing for drivers and also fans out there looking at the cars.
Ken, such a simple idea.
Yeah.
And nobody's plonked on this one before. What a great concept.
Yeah, I wish I had a thought of it. But no, it certainly worked well. I mean, my first experience was at Clipsal with it, and it was applied in both the 1 hour and the 30-minute race on Sunday. And it really brought the racing back together and made it very close. And the different level of drivers became a little bit of parity there, I guess, with the drivers in that. But the end result was just fantastic racing.
You don't mind, a standard difference between the drivers. That's what motorsport's all about. As long as everyone's got a playing field that they find that the goalposts don't move, which has been an issue with this category in the past.
Yeah.
How are you going to maintain that continuity of all your competitors?
Well, I think that we've got 4 divisions within the category also. So we've got a division for anyone who wants to really compete in AGT, be it in Champ or Trophy or Sport or Challenge. So there's races within the race also. which is very good. And then you've also got the CPS and some really good drivers coming in sometimes as a second driver. So the format's great. The parity with the cars will work because it's all simple and easy to understand. And I think it'll just be a great season this year and leading into what will be even bigger and better next year.
And Clark, at the Clipsal 500 as a support category for the V8 supercars, you know that whenever you bring these cars out to the track, the punters aren't going to leave the grandstand, are they? They're just awesome machines. Fun to race there?
Oh, fantastic. Clipsal's one of my favourite tracks to go on. Anything with concrete walls is one of my favourite. But
Why is that?
I'm not too sure. Just I get a little bit scared, maybe that just gives you that extra adrenaline, maybe. But Clipsal's such a great place. They got such a great atmosphere, and they really pump up the whole event. It's great to be at.
Well, you do exceptionally well on those fast-flowing type racetracks, and the next round at the end of May is at Phillip Island, another circuit that falls into your driving style. Yeah,
it should be good. And but Phillip Island's it's a pure GT circuit, so it's made for all the cars that are going to be competing there. So it's going to be tough for me and tough for the other competitors as well.
What about you, Ken? How are you finding it now that you're one round in as the new category manager for this category?
Well, the first round was a bit of a blur, so having a good break to the next round is worked in my favour. But there's still lots to do, and we've got some new competitors coming in for Phillip Island that weren't at Clipsal, another Audi R8 and Lambo coming back in. So there was a few damaged cars at Bathurst 12 hour before our event, so they should be there for Phillip Island as well. So all of that is going to lead to a great event.
And how does the championship look, Clark, coming into this second round at Phillip Island?
Clipsal was good to me and very bad to a lot of other competitors. So I've got a good gap now between the other competitors. But it's I learned so much from last year. You have to finish every race. And Phillip Island was one of the races, or the only race I didn't finish, and that cost me the championship. So, I just got to finish every race and do as well as I can. As you know from your 24-hour races and things of that nature you've been involved in, slow and steady can sometimes win the race. Absolutely, yeah. Just try and get in that rhythm, and in 10 minutes of racing in a 1 hour endurance race, you just got to try and get in a zone and not think about what you're doing. And at the end of an hour, you go like, what happened there? I just finished the race. So, and that's the best way to do an endurance race. So, I feel that I'm quite good at that, and that's probably one of my strengths. Well, you mentioned, Ken, earlier on that the first round was a bit of a blur. Let's make this interview a bit of a blur for you and put you straight under the spotlight. Where do you want the Australian GT Championship by the end of the year? What sort of growth are you expecting? We'd like to have a good solid base of 20 cars that are always at the events, that are always going to turn up and participate with us, be our series foundation, and then add cars to that at each event which wish to participate in their favourite rounds. That's where I'd like to see it as far as from a competitor point of view, but also giving us a good grounding for our sponsors and as well. So. And of course the category owner. Yeah, absolutely, you've got to look after him. Gentlemen, thank you very much for joining us in the studio, and good luck for the remainder of the season. Thank you. Thanks, brother. Stay with us. Coming up after the break, we're talking V8 superboats here on Inside Speed.